Hello everybody, we're going to be today looking at finding fractions of amounts part 2. Now I know there was a video yesterday, it was not quite my voice, but there's a PowerPoint from a gentleman that did it and I thought it might be useful for you to see. So today I'm going to take you through this one, but maybe show you some of Mr. Barton's tricks that might help you along as well. So let's talk through these slides. Finding fractions of amounts using sharing and number facts. Okay, we're not going to use bananas today, so let's have a little look. We're going to get Rice Krispie recipe. 12 tablespoons of butter, 16 cups of mini marshmallows, 24 cups of Rice Krispies. It sounds beautiful to me. And there's some instructions there for us. This recipe would make more cakes than we need. We need to halve the amounts. How could we work out half of 24? So it tells us two ways here. We can use a number fact to halve 12 into 6 spoons. Now, a great thing for halving is think about 2. Think about your 2 times table. And I would look at the number 12 and I would count up in my 2's. I'd use my fingers, I might well know it. I know that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 2 times 6 equals 12. And that's how I would do any halving. I'd use my understanding, my 2 times table, and I would count up. Let's share 16 into 2 groups. Well, that's really 16 divided by 2. So I could count up in my 2's. Let's do it together. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And we should have 8 fingers up there. So it's 8. Bit of a challenge. Can you rearrange that into a number family? Of course we can. We can do 4, can't we? We can do 16 divided by 8 equals 2. We can use these 3 numbers for the rest of our number family. 8 times 2, that's not 2, there we go, 2 equals, not sure, I could count up if I wanted, but I know I've got my number facts here, which I'm, 16, not used it, there we go. Use my same number facts, could just swap them around in a multiplication. I always like to make things easier for myself. 2 times 8, it's a much better 2, isn't it? Equals 16. It's always good to link to prior learning. That's why we do it, so that you can use it for some facts like this, understand our 2 times table. So that's a great way of doing it. Or, if you want to halve, you can use your partitioning skills. So here they've got the number 24. 24. We know, if we was to partition that, that can go into a 20 and a 4. 20 and a 4, so 20 add 4 is 24. We should know half of 20 is 10. Or if you're unsure, remember I always say take off the 0. Half of 2 is 1. Easy. Use the facts you know to make it easier for you. So half of 2 is 1. Put your 0 back on. Half of 4 is 2. If you're unsure, I love the box strategy. That's just my favourite. So I would always split it into 2. I would count out 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half of 4 is 2. You can use any of those strategies that suit you. That's the thing with our maths. We show you loads of different ways for you to select the best one for you. So then you see these tables and think, wow, this looks confusing, but it's not. We just need to talk through it. We're still finding fractions of amounts, and this is things we have done in class. So to make a chewier version, we would need to use 1/3 of butter and 1/3 of the Rice Krispies. So all we're changing here, we're going from a half to 1/3. That is 1 out of 3. So they've given us the answer here. So they've got 12 tablespoons. They've said 1/3 is 4. Well, let's show you how they've done that. We've got 12. Let's rub that out. The sum they're asking us here is 1/3 of 12. Equals. So this is the boxing strategy I love. I always say, look at the bottom number. That's your amount of boxes. Now, of course, you'll be using a ruler. and having even boxes. And I trust that you're doing that. And the top number is how many boxes we're going to look at. Well, with the number that we're going to count out as 12, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then we put the number in, don't we? Number 4, number 4, and number 4. So we'll look at one of those. The answer is 4. So 1/3 of 12 is 4. And that's where they've got it from. I challenge you to do the same with that. 1/3 of 24. We know the answer is 8. Can you prove that for me? So I would expect a sum, 1/3 of 24. I expect 3 boxes, because that's the bottom number, to count them out, and that should have 8 in each box. And remember, I don't like scattered dots everywhere. I like them nice and straight. That's not brilliant, is it? So I would change it perhaps and have them nice and neat so that they're easier to count. Okay? And again, when it comes to 1/4 of the amount, 4 boxes, count out the number, whatever it asks you for, and you're going to look at one of them. I hope that makes sense. If not, have a little look back, look at my example here. Oh, it's gone on to it for us, and they've been kind enough to give us the answers. Let's do an example of that then for you. So 1/4. Let's do the 12. So 1/4, 1/4 is 1/4, and we learned that from our Monday's lesson of, what's the number? 12 equals. Now, so 4 boxes, because that's what number is the bottom number, so I split it into 4. Count out 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3, 3, 3, 3. I could write the number in. I can actually see that. 3, 3. Tricky with this pen. 3, and 3. So, looking at 1 out of the 4 is 3. And I'm just checking here. Yeah, links in with that, so I know. So that's how we do it. Use the box strategy if that helps you. Okay, the bottom number is the amount of boxes. Top number is how many of those boxes we look at. So use that to help you complete these sums. With big numbers like this, take care of your counting. Make sure that your boxes are nice and neat, and that your dots are nice and neat, because that makes everything so much easier when you get to large numbers. If you're unsure, revert back to this one, have a look. Here's some examples: 12, 16, 24. 12 and 24, so maybe have a go at those first, see if you've got the same. They should be if you're asking for a half, third and a quarter. Okay, and then you can convert the amounts. Have a go of 24, so that's going to be half of 24. Split it into 2 and think, what strategy do you like the best? Do you want to do a box strategy where you're doing 2 boxes and counting out 24? Or do you want to use a partitioning strategy into 20 and 4, half of 20, half of 4? That is totally up to you. What I'd always say is show your working out. And if you're unsure, go back to earlier learning. Have a look at what it's showing us. If you're feeling hot, you can have a go at this one, which is finding a half, a quarter. And the difference here is they've added the 3/4. So really, it's not that much more tricky. Don't let it trick you. The numbers aren't much different. Okay, but if we was to go to my example, all you would do, if it's, just change that to 3/4. Of 12 is, look at the 3 boxes. It's that simple. You might even need to redo some. So 3, oh, that's what, 1, 2, 3. Try not to, I'll put that there, make it a bit clearer. So I've circled 3 of my boxes, 3, 3 and 3. 3 3s are 9. I could count my dots if I was unsure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3/4 of 12 is 9. So all you're doing there is looking at 3 of the boxes instead of the 1 that we had earlier on. So the hot challenge isn't that much tricky. I can even put that number in for you. It's not that much more tricky. It's just putting your 3 on top. And we've done that in class. And there's a lovely little challenge for you here that gets some of our reasoning thinking. So you can have a look at that. If you're still a bit stuck, it's no problem. There's a challenge here for you just to help develop some of that understanding with some things you will need. We've got an outline of a spaceship, 30 counters or pennies, and it tells you what to do there. So if you're unsure, you can have a go, or you can just go back to our earlier learning here of our box strategy, which will support your learning for the final tasks. So these investigation. Now, when it comes to investigations, don't just think, well, I just must know that answer straight away. It's okay that it takes some thinking, and it's okay that you don't get it straight away. That's the point of them, it's to get us thinking. So let's talk through this one here. And then you can have a go at this one, and then you could maybe make up some of your own. There is a challenge down there for you. I'm a whole number between 10 and 20. So that means it's not 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half, 10 and 3/4. It's a number between 10 and 20. So I could start off, or maybe start off by writing 11, 12, 13. I don't like. Let's try it like this. I much prefer having it nice and neat. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So they're my numbers. Let's rub those out. Okay, if you halve me, your answer will not be a whole number. So we need to think about that one. If you find 1/3 of me, your answer will be a number from 5 times table. Let me see if I can read that properly on here. Is it 1/3 or 1/5? 1/3 of me. There we go. If you find 1/3 of me, it will be an answer from the 5 times table. So straight away I could say, well, it has to be 1/3 of me, your answer will be in the 5 times table. So I know that if I do 1/3 of 11, if I split 11 into 3, it's not going to be a number from my 5 times table. 12, is that in my 5 times table if I find 1/3 of it? You will have to likely find 1/3 of these. So 1/3 of 11, 1/3 of 12, 1/3 of 13, 1/3 of 14, 1/3 of 15, 1/3 of 16. That might take a little bit of time. It's not going to take you that long. If you try to find 1/4 of me, you may get a headache. So maybe that's not possible. I'll just check that that does say 1/4 because it's quite difficult. Yep, 1/4, you may get a headache. What number am I? I'm not going to do it for you. The whole point for you is to go through these. But here's an example. So take your time, write the numbers out. Find, first of all, follow the clues. Find 1/3 of me. Your answer will be a number from the 5 times table. So that links into our 5 times table understanding. And don't be worried if you don't get it straight away. It just takes a little bit of time sometimes to work these out and have a little think about them. Okay, doke. If once you've done that, there's another one to have a go at. I'm a very special number between 10 and 20. I'm special because if you find 1/2, 1/3 or 1/4 of me, you will always get a whole number. What am I? So again, you might not know it straight away, but what you need to do is the same. You need to look at the numbers between 10 and 20. Between 20, so you may want that include 20. Find 1/4, find 1/3, find 1/2, and then hopefully you'll be able to have an understanding of what that number is. We look forward to receiving it. If you're unsure, send on your early ones, but it would be fun to have a go at least at one of these. And if you really want a challenge, you can make up one of your own. Enjoy year 2. Take care.